killed me by now. The battle was easy. The battle was not easy, but I fought and made it out of the dark fog of depression that engulfed me. When I started falling in love with myself again, I decided to do things that made me happy. I worked harder. I took care of myself. I was determined for my children. I added extra ear piercings. I dyed my short hair. Occasionally, I wear anklets. I am not doing too much, just making lemonade out of the lemons my marriage keeps serving me. For some reason, my husband didn't like all the things I was doing to make myself happy. He started calling me names. He said I was a cheap prostitute, mad woman. What hasn't he said? You mean nothing to me. He would rant. You are just a wife and nothing more. You are nothing but a sex toy to me. If words were stones, I would have been dead by now. One time, my husband told me, you are a choice I regret making. Had I known you would dye your hair and do all of this, I would have chopped off my manhood and thrown it in a bin so I wouldn't look your way. In case you're wondering, he's a respected member of a known Orthodox church. Yet, his Christianity does not translate to his life. He says my appearance is supposed to please him and not myself. So anything I do that doesn't fit what he wants earns me some form of abuse. That aside, he cheats like nobody's business. Meanwhile, this man whose joystick is barely 5 inches after erection and doesn't even last 2 minutes in bed before he starts snoring. So why are you even cheating? When I asked him, he said, I last longer with my side chicks than I do with you. So you are the problem. Sometimes I am also tempted to cheat back, not as a payback for what he is doing, but for my own pleasure. I have never had a single orgasm by him. I had to resort to playing with myself just so I could experience pleasure like my fellow women. I am here sharing my story because he keeps getting worse. He continues to body shame me. It's gotten to the point where I sometimes stand in front of my mirror and ask God if I'm that ugly. The only change I see in me is my sagging breast. But after breastfeeding 4 children, what did he expect? I have told him several times that my tears are a curse to him, that the mockery he makes of me hurts my soul. If not for anything at all, I am the mother of your children. Shouldn't that earn some respect? I asked him once. He responded, childbirth is nothing special, my dear. You are not the only woman in this world who has given birth. So don't think you have done me any good by giving me children. That day, I swore that none of my daughters would even be friends with an illiterate. I shared this story with a very heavy heart and with tears in my eyes for a man I downgraded my whole life and future for. To treat me like a rag simply because I do simple things that make me happy is painful. Unlike him, I am an orphan with no sane family to run to. So I feel so alone. I have fallen out of love with him and totally disconnected because of his constant abuse. But how do I leave my 4 daughters with him? He doesn't want me to live the marriage with them. So I'm wondering if I should do what he is also doing. I could also find a man who would shower me with love. That way, I will stay in the marriage for my kids and detach myself from his abuse. Is it wrong that I want to find my own happiness while I stay till my daughters are old enough to be independent? Maggie. Wow. If Sir Afina will tune in, I just finished reading our story for tonight. It's quite a heavy story, and unfortunately, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's very, very sad to hear say a woman would go through this, or a woman is going through this. Okay, my baby church mu for now. Nafi ya share would now take it from your perspective, because we hear your dream tray. We hear your dream tray. It's just sad. It's sad. Wow. Okay, for context, no, my main kind, my kind will bro from no will trim. It's just standing say on any class no there tuja. Basically, no share bear man no not bear man in education in sebi na this year and that's the name dear uncle in him. Na bear man catch yes, stand this year in the name dear away. Name your friend say walk university we cry na. Na on ebi a bear man GHS spend we junior high to ensure the education. But then again, also no fun home because now at the time no share bear man. Bear man had a pure soul, like pure heart, and you know that was what attracted and take fall in love with Papa no. Na one bear man we no so share bear man no be worry na bear man ti ebusuan fie. Ebusuan fie no mote no mo we na bear man ka kire ne say enkebe ya yentena ha kakra yen fan save sika ansa na yetimi di movie out akoya akwa renti ya yefie. Na I will say omatna if I feel so many years atwem oma wo nkola bako 4 and 9 still omgusu te ebusua fie. Na no kra ntwem go mote ebusua fie no ebusua na efie no mote na papa na enuanam no obi a ewo fie ho no mo nso omo wo ma ware wo ma e depend on ononi kuno no ni kuno san hwesa nkofo no nyinara. Na afin so ni kunu ne ade bone na oka che ne busuafo no eta ni kunu nechi omu hu se ni kunu aye bone se ye bone se ye papa wo bibia omu ta ni kunu nechi san so na se ni kunu ne busuafo no anaso omo mu ni tifie no efom no ne kunu ne ka ni kunu eta ne busuafo nechi ntakwa se ono nko a ware no wo mu no ono nko no mu ta na ni na enumpo no o se nempo nhara nya ne ha okese. Na ne ha okese ba kwa te se ha no mo papa sin ebusuansem no ye se ni kunu no ebo no onye so onye mo fourth child no na ni kunu sa se o abuse no obo no physically or violent afin so abuse no enye physically nkwa or abuse no mentally emotionally and so afin so financially because or abuse no aka chene se who spend this sika wo wuti na wo ye no ho na sika nti twa na sister is we twa ni nwi na just to bring peace wo twa nwi na so twa ni ti na twa nwi no o ka say bia asem de na asem ko but nema started getting worse than before or say papa no na be so na papa na ye no o ka nso we no ne ho say o ware no it was say o go through depression phase. Na nyame chad no timi pagya ne ho face depression phase no emo no started say o pay attention to ne ho it is o ye dwuma den na fe o hwe ne ho so ne ti na o twae no o say o die ti no kra wa die ti ni kra na wa fe o man wa chicho na so kakra so aye den aka ho na one of the chain at 29 just to make herself feel good. But what yes, Adamani we are kune friend din calling names. Oh yeah, shawuni ba and a warful and oh just say wow but damn in same be brave was say in same to me ekum pa and I say in same your boy and by this time you seen a boy amanibu. Ne no nkodanchen ni kuno no ne sanso san ya asefo ne se ni kuno no efa ochiti ofa ne chi bebre. Na fa na ofa ne chi ne kra no so nya ne ya because ono efie no efa so worry ni kuno no sebi oba ne se ne ho bad da ni kuno no I last year 2 minutes afin so ne be ma ne ye kete bint onte asentia wa o ma meni wa o ta meni o ma meni nje empema go so a wo nya ade ba afin so no wo san